with Jazz. This is my official video. I'm actually gonna show you guys how I trip plan or go over my loads or pick my loads and how much fuel I get, how I calculate it, and I'm actually gonna show you on a Qualcomm how it come up, and then I'm gonna attach a video recording of how it look on my mobile app from my phone. So bear with me while I go ahead and show you guys this stuff. So the first thing is I'm gonna show you the Qualcomm. This is how it look. You can see our navigation. This is critical events. You can log it, or if the truck detect it's a critical event, it'll pop up here. And yeah, go back. This is our message where we will send our codes. If you arrive to a location, you will put your O1, put the temperature of the load, if you're gonna drop the load, and if what the trailer is, if you're dropping it, then you'll hit send. You also have different codes here where you can do a O3, which is your depart, which I will be doing that soon after I get loaded up. You answer all this information, enter all this stuff in, you hit the send, and then your fleet manager, you will have to call over to a live dispatch, and they review this information that you put in to make sure that it's matching the paper on a bill of lading, which is your paperwork, and then they'll tell you you're good to roll. Make sure that you have your tandems in the right spot. The tandems are basically the hole that you put your I forgot how you say it, but basically we have the pins that lock the trailer wheels, and you can have the wheels forward, you can have it back, depending on your weight will dictate where you will want to put those pins. Certain states require that you put them in certain holes, or like the minimum hole, like this state you can't be, you know, past the 5th hole, meaning you can't be in the 4th hole. If you get pulled over, you can be fined, things like that. So enough about that. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this part off, and I'm gonna come back to you showing the load here, how it come up on the Qualcomm, and then I'll show you, like I stated, from my mobile app, how it look, and then I will also show a recording of me writing it out, a load. I'm actually gonna put up a load that I already completed, because I don't want to give out my accurate information at this moment, but I'll give up something that I already did and how I do it. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so just coming back to show you how the Qualcomm looks. This is how it looks. This is a load that will come in, and basically you as a lease operator will look at the load. It'll tell you your trip number, which is very important. It'll tell you how many miles from where you are to where you got to go pick up the load, which this one was at our terminal in Laredo. It told us the date, the time, you know, as far as to pick up the window. If it was a yes, a spot trailer, and it's a Y, meaning that you can pick it up, it's there. Sometimes you can call in because, you know, it's like that's a window time and maybe it's not there, but spot trailers mean that it's already loaded. This tell you your 90, where you're going, how many miles to the 90, the city, the state, the company, of course, the time, which this didn't have an appointment time. Sometimes they'll set it up like that and they don't have an appointment on it, meaning when you got to drop it, it says spot trailer there, meaning you can drop it as soon as you get there. Another thing is some locations will have, you can drop it, and say for instance your delivery date was 5 days from now, but it'll tell you 48 hours early you can drop it or put it, specify it there. So that's technically how it will come up, giving you a preview of the load and if you want to accept it. Then the next thing you'll look at will be, of course, your trip, how much you're getting paid. So you, for the most part, Prime breaks down your line haul, which is what the driver makes, and then this is supposed to be what you're paying in fuel. Majority of the time you're always paying a little bit more than this amount on the fuel, but they always, you know, have it broken down, itemized, and then they give you your total right here. So I always write down the total. I technically disregard the fuel because that's not going to be the exact amount you pay. That's just roughly what they're saying you can get paid. Depending on the load, if you have a start and stop, you'll start seeing all that stuff. If it's tolls and they're paying for tolls, even though you're paying for it, they'll have it broken down here. Some you can go some areas and they do have tolls, some don't. If you are picking your routes, some loads like FedEx loads, it wants you to go a particular route. Some loads you can pick your own route. It's just really based on the load. In this case, I was able to go my own route. So if I wanted to find something that was maybe an hour added to my time and I had time on the load, but I took the longer route because I wanted to avoid the tolls. That's, you know, a load like this is what you do. So this had a load come up. So let's fast forward to the trip sheet. This is how Prime trip sheet looks. It's basically a way to keep you organized. So I'm just gonna make up a tractor. I'm an owner op, I'm a team, and then say your tractor is this number. I don't have to fill that part out, that's up to you. And say the trip number again was this number right here. So you will put the trip number, which is 1165838. You will put when the load was asking you to be there, which in this case it was saying 7:25:23. Then you'll put your, if you already have your trailer, you'll put your trailer information. Then you'll put the day they wanted it to be delivered. Then the customer was, let's say, Walmart. You'll put that information. And then you will put, of course, where it's going and where it's ending. So in this case, it was going to Kennesaw, Georgia. And the pickup was Laredo. I hope you guys, oh snap, messed that one up. I wasn't looking, guys. It's kind of hard to write and record. And then you'll put your driver code. So you'll put your name. You guys may can't see it all right now, but you'll put your name, you'll put your code, which I'm making stuff up, guys. Right? And this is technically how you set up your sheet. To all who's watching, thanks for the support. So on this screen, I'm showing you how you go into the app from Prime, and it shows you your loads. Now I'm going to an old load. This is the mobile view of how it looks when it come up. That's my current load. I'm actually going into my history because I'm going to an old load. Right there you can see the temperature, the intel, which is 5 variant, the miles you drove, how much money you was making on the load. That special section right there tell you what's going on the load, how much they paying for detention. Detention is when you wait for a load. Layover is when you stay over, they pay you. This tell you about the first location, which is your 01. You look at all that information. You get the pickup number when needed at the shipper, and the last mile tell you directions or anything that's going on with the load. Your peers, which other drivers can update that information, or like the fleet. Now this section right here is the 90, which is where you're dropping off. It tell you the date, the time you're dropping it, you know, the same information, the POs that's supposed to be on the load, which is like the order numbers and stuff. Then the last mile, it tell you to wait, and then it tell you like instructions specifically for that location. It'll tell you just information, if it's tight, you know, if you can park there overnight. And I use this for my trip sheet. Hey guys, and I'm back to the second part of this segment. This information right here I gather based off the mobile app. I sit down, wait for me to accept the load. Once I accept the load, then I put this information. So I know that the load temperature is 55 Fahrenheit, is 5 variant. That's the setting I would put on the reefer. This is the total miles, 1,117 miles. This was the pay for the load. In order to find out the cent per mile, that you're getting paid, you will take this number, which is the money, divided by the miles. It'll give you your cent per mile. Then in order to find out how many gallons of gas you need, you would take your miles and divide it by how much your truck, how many miles per gallon you get. So on our trucks, outside of our system with Prime, it'll tell us we get 10 gallons 10 gallons per gas for the gas mileage, and I usually do the number 8. I know technically I'm buying more gas than I should in that instance, but a little more be okay with me. We get a great fuel discount with Prime, so I don't really too much stress about the fuel. I make sure I get enough for my trips and have a little extra depending on where you at. Sometimes you get in Pennsylvania, everything is spread out, or you be taking highways. Sometimes your route take you from off of major highways, so you be on some back roads, curvy. You need to have that extra gas, especially if your load is heavy, because you need the fuel. Sorry, the diesel fuel. I said gas. Gas is for cars. Okay, so with all that being said, this is a completed trip sheet. You will scan this at the end. Sorry for that mess up there. I wasn't looking down. This is also extra stuff that you want to keep up with if you're paying for it, if you're paying for parking, if you paying to wash. Like, I like putting this stuff here that don't have nothing pertaining to Prime, but when you come back and have to look at some of your expenses, you want to be able to take it off your sheet and easily jot it down for tax purposes. So I like going back to my trip sheets, and I have a place where I kind of keep all this stuff on a monthly basis and transport it from the sheets over to my little Excel spreadsheet where I keep everything organized for taxes. But this is how a trip sheet works. That's how the Qualcomm operates in that standpoint, and that's how the pay works. So this is how you do each of your loads. I'll show you guys one last thing, which is my folder that has all of my trips, and I wanted you guys to see it. It's actually above my head. I keep all my documents here. Bear with me a moment. So hey guys, once I have a drawer at home that I keep all this information in, and currently when I do anything regarding to my truck, any services, I have here, this have the warranty. When I got a service, you want to keep count of it. Every trip that I do, I put the trip information here, and like I stated, I just have all the documentation, you know, your fuel receipts. I try to be organized as possible. It's easy to misplace, lose the stuff. So this is how my trip sheets look. This is literally the load that I just did with you guys. Yeah, and this is how I keep my book very organized. Yeah, so try to be organized, people. I do not like having my stuff unorganized, but try to keep you guys a book. After like a month or two, once this book get filled up, take it out. Make sure you properly put it somewhere in the storage to store your documents in a proper place. This had multiple stops. I even jot down stuff like this: low pay, too many miles. This had a lot of miles on it, 3,659. I had a deadhead 828 miles. Look at the gallons I had to get. I'm very transparent. This went all the way to Maryland. Was very frustrated about the load, but it was paying $6,443. It worked out because, you know, when you get a lot of trips and you move fast, you're able to drop a load, you're able to do a lot of things. This says, I know this wasn't I know this not accurate as far as these gallons. I know for a fact it wasn't 26, 25 gallons. I think I wrote that real fast. This was a Hershey load from the PA to Utah. But yeah, so keep up with your paperwork. I try to fill out this information and know what's going on with my loads all the time. And if you can be organized out here, that will just save you. When they want you to pull it up real quick, you're able to pull up what you need. Yeah. And like even creating my company and everything, like I have everything right here. So let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns, or if you guys want me to do anything else. But peace, love, and chicken grease. And thank you guys for watching my video.